So verse 2 starts like this. Okay, so you'll notice probably that I'm slapping some of these notes. Don't worry if you can't tongue slap, tongue block, just play the single notes. It's just, I can't resist. I just think it sounds really big and full with the tongue slaps, and I think at least some of the time I think Sonny Boy will have been doing that. So the tab would be 3 blow, 3 draw twice, 4 blow, 4 draw, 4 blow, 3 draw, 3 blow. Okay, and then we've got the same chord. That kind of chordal da, 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 da. So that's stayed the same from verse 1, although the same idea applies that you can put variation in as I suggested earlier. So that's our first line of verse 2, and then the second line is basically the same. It just, when I listened to this version on Bring It On Home, the album Bring It On Home, I didn't detect an initial 3 blow. So the first line, da 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 da. The second line just does the 3 draws from the start. So take off the first note and you've got the same line. So the next line is coming into the 4 chord again. It kind of anticipates the 4 chord, and it's a really cool line, this. I really like this. It just sort of, it comes almost before you expect it, and it's just great playing. So if I slow that down, it's using all the power of the 5 draw to really give that a bluesy sound. So we've got 4 draw, 5 draw, and bear in mind that first 4 draw is you just roll off it almost immediately. Then you've got 4 draw bend, 3 draw, 4 blow, 3 blow, 3 draw semitone bend. Okay, really nice line. And again, you could do some slaps there if you want. And that 3 draw semitone bend is telling us we're on the 4 chord. It's a good little signpost to the fact that we've had a chord change. And then it goes to the chord again. That kind of thing. Again, put your own variations in rhythm and an exact kind of placement on the harmonica into that. But we'll be back kind of to that sort of chordal sound. And then after that chord, we're on to 3 draw semitone bend, 4 blow, 3 draw semitone bend, 3 blow, 2 blow, 3 blow. Ba 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 da da da. If you are trying a low harmonica for the first time, or you haven't had one that long, you might find those bends really difficult on the low harps, and again, they will send it out of tune quite quickly, so you're going to need some practice. You might ruin a low harp learning this technique. In theory you don't have to, but in practice it often happens just because you're kind of forcing it just to get the technique, just as you were when you were learning to bend on the non-low harps, the kind of standard harmonicas. So just take your time with the bends. We are only doing that bend on 3 really, but still it's a bend all the same. And then I'm going to turn my tab over so I can have a look. We're on to the same chord again, so kind of back to that chord. So we're up to the 5 chord, so getting towards the end of the 12 bar and this verse, end of verse 2. We've got another verse to do after this before the vocals come in, but this section goes. So we're using the 4 draw to really signal going to that 5 chord. Really, really powerful note. So we've got 3 draw semitone bend, 4 blow, 3 draw semitone bend, 3 blow, and then a 4 draw bend that releases and then comes down again, and then a 3 draw 4 blow. Ba 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 da. Wow wow wow. Okay. And we stay on the 4 blow. For the last line, which is 4 blow, and then 3 draw, 3 blow, 2 blow, 3 blow twice. Ba 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 ba. So you put those two together. Okay, and that takes us to the end of verse 2. We've got one more verse just to run through. It's quite repetitive, really cool little groovy line. He kind of repeats and varies slightly. So it shouldn't take us too long. And then that will be the end of this section of the song and the end of what we can look at in today's lesson. So let's get on to verse 3. So verse 3, as I say, quite repetitive, although there's a tricky little bit at the end involving a bend, and it's definitely worth looking at. It's quite interesting because of its lack of changes in terms of phrases, which sounds a bit strange, but when we get to that point, I'll tell you. So, first line, well, most of the lines are just that phrase that we've used in the first verse. So 1 draw, 2 blow, 3 blow, 2 blow, 3 blow. And then the chord, which gives you an opportunity, because it actually plays it 4 times in this verse, gives you an opportunity to try those variations. Try maybe adding a note, taking away a note, or slapping certain notes, different notes each time. And again, with the chords, trying slightly different accents on those notes. So that's our line, and we can play it 4 times. Now, first time, second time, makes sense that, you know, it's kind of similar to the first verse. The next one is quite interesting. We play the same thing, but because of, I mentioned before, when we went to the 4 chord, he did something to signal that 4 chord. This time out, he doesn't signal the 4 chord, he stays on the same phrase. So he's kind of creating this tension between what he's playing and where the chords are changing, the band are changing what they're playing, they're changing the chord. He's not, and there's this tension. So he's kind of choosing to not go with the chord changes. It's not because he doesn't know they're changing, because in the previous verses he's changed. This is a good little trick that you can learn as a player. Learn how to play with the changes, how to change with the chord changes and pick something suitable, but then go against that sometimes. If you never go with the changes, it sounds like you just don't know how to play the chord changes. But if you do it sometimes, as he's doing it in this verse but not in the others, it really works as a kind of, oh, that's interesting sort of thing. So we're going to play that 4 times, and then it's really just the final phrase that changes. Okay, so it's almost the same as previous verses. We've got 1 draw, 2 blow, 3 blow. And then we go. So we go 3 draw, second bend, release kind of up to the first bend, kind of hold the first one for a bar, you know, the initial bend for a bar, and then the second bend we play for another bar, and then just 3 blow, 2 blow, 3 blow, 3 blow. 3, 2, 3, 3. Now with those bends again, he's doing a bit of a wah with his massive Sonny Boy hands. Do your best to get a kind of wah wah sound on those. So okay, and that will take us to the end of the verse. So sounds very repetitive if you play it in full. I'll just play this verse in full now, so you hear 4 times through and then that last line. I was a little bit late coming into the last phrase. But I was concentrating on trying to get little bits of variety coming in and out of those phrases, and the tongue slaps to give it something more interesting. It sounds better with a band, with a backing track, because you hear the tension. Okay, so we're playing something that repeats. If you play it without a backing track, it just sounds like you're playing the same thing again and again. When you play that against the changing chords, you hear that tension, the fighting between the repetition and the change, and that's what makes it interesting. So it'll sound better than just on its own when you play it with a band, perhaps. So that's all that we've got time to look at in this lesson. This is an absolute classic by Sonny Boy Williamson. So there's a lot going on. There's more later in the song. And as I say, I might do a kind of premium lesson on the full thing. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but if I do, I'll put a link beneath the video so that you can check that out. Remember that if you'd like a custom lesson, as Soren has requested this one, I'm still offering them as part of my crowdfunding campaign. Because we reached our initial goal, the website Indiegogo allows you to leave your page up and people can continue to buy your perks and support the album. We're trying to get the album mastered at Abbey Road, so if you want to support it being mastered at Abbey Road, obviously famous for the Beatles and all sorts, we still need funding for that. So if you'd like to guarantee yourself a YouTube lesson on a topic of your choice, as Soren has with this one, then you can go to the link beneath the video to my Indiegogo page and click custom YouTube lesson and get a lesson on a topic of your choice. Thank you, Soren, for requesting this. It's a hell of a song. It's a great one to do. I hope you've enjoyed it, Soren. I hope everyone else who's watching this has enjoyed it as well. I'll be back very soon with another lesson. I'm trying to get through the lessons that I've had crowdfunding orders for, so I've got a few of those lined up for upcoming weeks. There's some really cool stuff in there, including something that I've had a lot of requests for, so you'll have a certain someone to thank for ordering it from me, because I'm now definitely going to do it. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please click like, share it, and also subscribe to my channel for free harmonica lessons every single week. You can also get in touch with me. You can leave comments beneath the video. You can email contact@LearnTheHarmonica.com. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Just search LearnTheHarmonica.com on those platforms. I'll be back very soon. Until then, enjoy your practice and I'll see you soon. Cheers.